Thank you for watching the Crokinole Cup. We've got another round of 16 match for you between Nathan Walshy Walsh on the left of your screen and Darren Grizz Van Gameren on the right, who has just come up a little bit short. Walsh makes a very nice takeout 20 there to give himself a decent advantage with hammer as Van Gameren comes up short again. Walsh plays that one nicely just in front of the hole, forcing only a follow-through opportunity for Van Gameren. This is tricky. Looks like he's taking it from a bit of an angle. I thought that might have been more on from straighter, but he liked it. And Walsh going for the takeout 20 there, I think was a little fortunate to get the takeout there at all. Good attempt from Van Gameren to pull that off a peg. But this is a very strong position for Nathan Walsh in the opening round of this long match. Van Gameren will need to come off a peg here and nearly got the 20 off of, I think that was even 3 pegs. Great attempt from him. Walsh pushes that one off the board. He won't be thrilled about that, but still with the 20 advantage and with the hammer, he's in a great position. With Van Gameren's miss, it's now all but sealed. Even as Walsh fails to convert on that shot, he'll look to clean that up over the course of the match. Van Gameren now needs a tricky one just to make Walsh shoot. This Van Gameren's own disc is hanging over the hole, and that's what made the route to the 20 so difficult. Walsh just needs an off, which he just gets. Enough to hold on with the 20 advantage. Walsh goes up 2 points to none. And he misses first to start the second round. Both players struggling a little bit to find some 20 form, and Van Gameren will not be pleased with how close to the hole that drifted. This board must be very slick. Well, Walsh did hit that one pretty firm, able to make the takeout and the 20. Well done by Van Gameren to answer. Let's see if these players can find a little bit of open 20 form early, but Walsh can't quite get it. And Cameron sliding over to make this, I think, a trickier shot, but the level of reward is much higher, as seen in the position that he's left there. Only a chance off a peg. Walsh plays patient, leaves that one in a tricky spot, although it should still be removable. Van Gameren lining up this angle and gets a good solid takeout. Of course, that's all he needs with the hammer. As Walsh rings that off a peg, to the advantage swinging even further toward the hammer, especially if Van Gameren could have pulled out that 20, but it's an opportunity left for Walsh, who can't quite drop it. Neither player seems quite settled in on this board yet in the first couple rounds. Van Gameren will look for the 20 of his own, and he nails it. That was dead straight. Walsh now needs to go after this one and make something out of it. He is not quite shooting dead yet, but very close in this round. Good push from Van Gameren there. Puts this one just about out of reach. He's got the win on the board. Doesn't need to take his last shot, but it never hurts to practice going through Hogan's Alley. As he examines the situation and decides he doesn't even need to shoot. This match tied at 2, and Van Gameren comes up just short on the opening 20 offering. Walsh, this time, no miss from him. He drills the takeout 20. Van Gameren will be playing catch-up, and he does well to start there, making the open 20. Walsh goes 2 for 2. As the players find a bit of open 20 form, Walsh sends that one long, and this is quite a slick board. That disc just barely held on at the back end of the 15. Van Gameren, I think, played that very smartly. He could have pushed for the 20, but his chances were slim, and Walsh can't navigate the pegs for the second time in as many rounds. Van Gameren punishes him with that open 20 make, forcing a peel. Van Gameren has the extra 20 with 3 shots left each. He expands his lead to 2 there. Walsh gets it, needs a miss from his opponent. With just a couple shots left to each, Van Gameren guarantees a point. And that miss from Walsh makes it 2. The players do have a shot left each. It looked like Van Gameren was ready to bank his points before the round had officially ended. A good little rollout there is inconsequential. Walsh practices a little roll-up, and Van Gameren notches the first steal of this match. He leads 4-2. First shot miss from Walsh. Van Gameren tried to get away, but in the words of Ray Bierling, it went away and it came back. Walsh slides over to the left, makes the 20 there, but the blue disc stays on, although it will force Van Gameren off to the right for this open 20, which he misses. So a little bit of momentum swinging toward Walsh. Just a little bit, an opportunity for him to get that steal right back. He scores the 20 to go up 2. But Van Gameren can keep himself in this round with an open 20 here, although he comes up short. Open 20 form has been a bit hard to come by so far in this match. Walsh will need a double takeout or two or to pad his 20 lead. He goes for the 20 lead. Now, Van Gameren is sitting either 40 or 45 points on the board, and he scores the 20 there to cut it down to 2 20s as his deficit. I think there is at least a double takeout available here. Walsh just playing patient again, just trying to manage where his disc is. That's the most important thing for him here. As Van Gameren put a nice push on for that follow through 20, but couldn't get it. Now this round is it's starting to get away from him. I think Walsh came in off of that, which is a surprise. The players seem to chuckle over that, or at least the awkwardness of this leave. There might be a touch 20 available through the gap that Van Gameren is lining up. There's no takeout. He went for the touch and couldn't get it. That's a big risk-reward shot. I think that was the right shot to play, though. Walsh still playing patient with a pretty decent advantage here. I'm really not sure what Van Gameren can see. He needs to generate a good amount of offense, and right now, if he wants to hold on to the advantage he gained in the previous round. I think that's a fair play. I didn't really see anything else to go for. Walsh, now things are getting a little bit congested, to be sure, but he just really needs an off here, I think, and he would be in very good position. Goes for the double, leaves his 2 discs on, and the two, critically, Van Gameren's 2 blue discs are scoring only 20 right now. Van Gameren would need to remove both reds and score a 20 to tie, and I just don't see that. He's going to take his time and examine this. That's a more than fair thing to do, but this feels like just a practice shot. Good attempt at the angle in 20, but all for naught. This match is tied up at 4. We started with 2 hammer holds, and we've responded with 2 steals. Van Gameren rings that one wide, just off the edge of the hole. Oh, and just as in the last round, the disc went away but came back. Chance for Van Gameren to get back on serve, and he nails it. Very well taken. I think a lot of players would go up the side, but Van Gameren showing you that you don't need to. The miss wide from Walsh now gives a lead to his opponent, although Van Gameren unable to get away from the hole. Can Walsh punish him? Oh, he just can't. I didn't think that was too far back, but it just didn't go. Van Gameren surely looking for the 20 here. Just off the line. A chance at least as difficult here for Nathan Walsh. This is a heavy hanger, but he nails it. Well taken there. Halfway through the round, and we are tied in the cup. Van Gameren comes up short. Walsh has made 20s off of this before, and he would really love one here. He gets it. I think he'll be all right with where that landed. If that was an inch further, it would be hidden behind the peg, but as is, it's all sorts of accessible. Van Gameren played well to tie that up. And now Walsh may have to face a couple discs on his opponent's side, but he catches the peg. Wow, I thought the roll was going to be to the opposite side, but really well taken there. Follow through for Van Gameren. just kind of stopped on him. He's been struggling to get follow-through with these blue discs. Oh, Walsh, that's a slight error. This could be a real problem if Van Gameren can score the 20. And he puts his opponent in a very difficult spot. If he just stays in the 15, this should be unproblematic. And he may even have lined them up for a double here. All Nathan Walsh needs is a takeout and to stick in the 15, which he gets. Nice little tick on the second disc, but it's 6-4 to Walsh. So he comes up short here. Again, open 20 form seems to be eluding these two players at the start of this match. I think 4 is the most in a row that we've seen between the two players. Van Gameren unable to convert on that hanger 20, and Walsh punishes him for the mistake. Van Gameren, who won his first tournament last June at the Origins Convention, has been making a pretty solid name for himself as one of Buffalo's finest players. That he's taking on an NCAA stalwart here in Nathan Walsh, the 2017 World Doubles Champion, among numerous other accolades. He's looking to make a deep run in this inaugural Crokinole Cup. Van Gameren pushing for the 20 there. That was a curious play. I think there was a pretty straightforward defensive shot available on that. And now Nathan Walsh has an opportunity to score a 20, and with a disc of his on his side of the board, this is going to be a difficult last bit of the round here if Van Gameren wants to score. I think he'll need to go over the hole here. And that's what he's lining up. Tough shot and very well taken. But now Walsh should be able to line these two discs up in such a way that it'll be difficult for Van Gameren to navigate his own. I don't think he got the roll that he wanted there, but he does get the miss. So Nathan Walsh doesn't even need to keep his shooter on with this one, really. He does. That's very well done. Not sure what Van Gameren's eyeing up here. Gets a good bounce off the peg. Now Walsh just needs to remove this, and he will guarantee the 2 points. He loses his shooter as well. Very smartly played. Van Gameren has no shot for the 20 that he would need to tie it up. And Nathan Walsh is going to take the first lead greater than 2 points in this match. He leads 8-4. Good start from Van Gameren in the 7th round of this match. That's the advantage of this format. Is if this was in an NCAA tournament, this would be the match could be wrapping up right now, but there's still a good long way to go here. The advantage clearly to Van Gameren so far. Walsh happy to play patient. Let's see how Walsh can just reshape the angles here. He's just inching play forward. If Van Gameren continues to hit and stick, play will just get a little bit closer to the hole, but he pushes forward very nicely there. There is an angle chance here for Walsh. Oh, and he nails it. Great shot from him to tie up the cup. Once again, we are tied with 4 shots left for each player halfway through the round. The miss from Van Gameren gives Walsh an advantage. He cozies that up to a peg, which means with 3 shots left each now, we're getting close to do or die time in this round. Good push in there. Left a little bit tricky in front of the peg, but this should be removable. Yeah, and it was straight on at pace. It was more in the open than I thought it was there. Is there an angle in opportunity for Van Gameren? If he's going up the right, he's looking for a follow-through. And that's what he's looking at here. This would be a big follow-through for him. Oh, just a little off the angle. He must not have liked the shorter angle in from the left side. But this is in a tough spot as well. Trickier to remove than the previous one, to be sure. And it draws the error from Walsh. He loses his shooter off the hole. Van Gameren can score it. The 20, he gets the points, and he does. So after giving up the steal in the previous round, Van Gameren steals right back, and it's 8-6. This match is back on hammer in a bit of a topsy-turvy affair. Both players score their first open 20s, and Walsh misses wide on his second. He's had a few misses to the left. He'll hope to correct for that. Great roll out there from Van Gameren. That's in a really tricky spot to get any play back toward the middle. Walsh just plays the bounce to leave both discs in play, perhaps hoping for just that, so that Van Gameren will leave an opportunity for Walsh to double and get back toward the middle. He was going for the 20 off of it and narrowly missed it. Van Gameren perhaps pushing for a 20 of his own here. He certainly was, and he's just a fraction off. Walsh would love a takeout 20 here, but it bounces off for him. Just neither player seeming to really get much follow-through off of their shots. This has been curious. Great roll from Van Gameren. I don't know if the peg blocks the double. Walsh certainly thought it was on, but Van Gameren's disc bounces away harmlessly off the 20 hole. It might be advantageous for him to simply peel here. And he's left it on. Angle in chance for Walsh. Oh, great attempt. Another one just lips out. Again, the play for Van Gameren, I think, would be to peel, but he's left this on. A short ricochet chance for Walsh to at least put the pressure on. And it just misses as well. Van Gameren just needs the touch here with his last. And that is enough. The players again both having a chuckle. This is being played clearly in good spirits as Van Gameren comes up short to kick off round number 9. Walsh drills the takeout 20 straight up the gut. And Van Gameren comes up short. Good positioning there from Walsh. I wonder if Van Gameren can squeak this in. Should be available. Maybe not for the 20, though. Yep, good shot to get into the 15. Walsh looks like he might even be gunning for this. Yeah, just a little too far back. But a great position, again, forcing Van Gameren into a follow-through, which is so difficult from these lines. And just good forward progress there, which is all you really need. Walsh will want to roll it away a little. If he had stuck to that, there would have been an easy, well, not easy, but an angle-in opportunity. As it is, Van Gameren needs to push for a follow-through again, and he loses his shooter as a consequence. Walsh, already up at 20 with hammer, has a chance to redouble his advantage, and just whiffs on it. That one, I think, just missed to the right, so struggling to dial in here. Van Gameren may be going for both. This feels like an aggressive play, and it is. I thought the disc to the right, as we saw it, was kind of always going up against the pegs. But this round is already getting toward the point of impossibility for Van Gameren. Walsh up at 20 with hammer and with 2 discs in play. They are not lined up for a double. And as Van Gameren's unable to get back in, I expect that Walsh will peel, as he does. Now Van Gameren plays onto Walsh's side. This is going to be the end of it, a little tic-tac-toe. And we are moving on. Walsh leads 10 points to 8. And he scores the open 20 to begin this next round. Players playing at a pretty decent pace. Just moving along fairly over the course of, again, what is a long match. Walsh scores his second open 20. And Van Gameren comes up short. That's been about the maximum for both of these players, frankly, at the start of these. And Walsh just underhit that, I think, or missed his point of contact. Either way, doesn't get the takeout. Van Gameren sitting 15 points on the board with 2 discs, down a 20. Great shot by Walsh to pull that back onto his side of the board. I wager he will look to maneuver the 2 blue discs into a point where he can get a double, and it may be available here. Had to keep track of the shooter, and it's on toward Van Gameren's side again. Good shot there. This is a tricky spot. Walsh just pushing through, making sure that if Van Gameren wants to score the tie even, he will need to do so with a follow-through, and that is less than ideal. Walsh sticks to the outside. This will force a peel out of Van Gameren, although that might not be the end of the world. Walsh now has to go over the hole to get to this blue disc, and it jams off the hole. So an open 20 to win the round for Darren Van Gameren almost out of nowhere. Oh, it just slides in. A clutch open 20 from Van Gameren, and we are tied at 10. Good open 20 to start us off. Walsh ties it up. These two players have never met in an NCAA elimination game. This is their first time playing head-to-head that I'm aware of. And it's been a pretty solid match so far. The players get to 3 20s each at the top of the round, which is the best streak of open 20s in the match. As Van Gameren comes up short, Walsh can't convert on the tricky hanger. Touch 20 opportunity here for Van Gameren. Maybe more. Great shot. Great shot to get the takeout with the 20. That was really well played. Walsh, though unfazed, gets back to the 20 scoring. And Van Gameren comes up shy. Tied in the 20 cup, Walsh with the hammer has an advantage and scores a good touch 20 there to increase his advantage. Van Gameren, though, is able to make the touch. I think he would have wanted to leave his disc where it was. There's now an opportunity for Walsh to get away from the middle, but he can't quite get it. Tricky position here. I think if Van Gameren gets close to the nose, he won't leave a double, and I don't think he has left an easy double anyway. Oh, but Walsh nails it. Very well played from him to find that precise angle. He leads 12 points to 10 in the race to 19. Though after that good 20 scoring in the 11th round of the match, the 12th round begins with a first shot miss. Walsh just, again, playing patient, as he has throughout this match. He knows he can take advantage of his board play skills here to get some advantages. There is not a 20 shot available here, but Walsh positions his disc right in front of the hole as Van Gameren sees it. Roll away, catches the peg, but it's not there for a direct 20. What's Walsh looking for here? He brings it off the peg and leaves it in a good spot. Van Gameren, from the left, going through Hogan's Alley, makes a good stick, but he will be disappointed with where it's left. There is certainly a 20 chance here for Walsh, although getting it with the takeout would be a challenge. Nice touch from him. He scores the first 20 of the round, but Van Gameren's disc in play will still provide some opposition. As Van Gameren scores the open 20, Walsh perhaps looking for the short angle in. Now just catches the peg. Didn't quite have the right angle with that. Hit and stick should be plenty for Van Gameren as he pushes that just a tiny bit forward too. Well placed from him. Walsh. Oh, I wonder if that moved on him as he just blasted that straight into a peg is an uncharacteristic mistake. Van Gameren adds the open 20. And this round is just about cooked. That disc stays on barely, but it is inconsequential as well. Van Gameren will tie up this match at 12 points apiece. This truly has been a fascinating match in terms of scoring. No player able to build a really substantial lead as that disc just sprung out of the hole on Van Gameren. An open shot for Walsh, who comes up short, perhaps scared off by the excess weight on Van Gameren's shot. He looks for the 20 but can't get it. Walsh off to the left, trying to give himself a solid advantage with hammer, and he gets it. That was a smart choice of weight there from Walsh. Not too much, gave him some tolerance on line. Van Gameren picks up the open 20. And Walsh nails it. 3 shots gone for each, and Walsh leads by a 20. Van Gameren keeps the pressure on and draws the miss. That one had really good weight, but just left again. What can Van Gameren make of this? He's looking at the straight follow-through, which I love as a shot. Good push, and he will be sad with that leave. Walsh a chance to restore his 20 lead, which he takes. Great little short ricochet from him. Van Gameren misses long, and the lead expands for Walsh. He looks strong to go up 14-12. Great follow-through to add insult to injury. What an excellent shot. That miss seals the result of this round. A few shots should go by quickly as Nathan Walsh will take a 14-12 lead. Great bounce on the pegs there. Now, as we get down to the business end of this match, each of these points will count for so much more. They will feel so much more impactful. It's now a 14-12 game in a race to 9. Nathan Walsh is 5 points away, in a race to 19, Nathan Walsh is 5 points away from the promised land as he starts off this next round with an open 20. Van Gameren is level to the response. And some good open 20 shooting to start us off. Walsh makes it 3-2. Van Gameren to equalize. And he nails it. We've tied, I believe, the longest 20 streak of the match. And there, Walsh comes up short. So a slim advantage here to Van Gameren. As he makes a pretty good stick. He's been very good with that shot specifically throughout the match. Walsh just made one of those follow-throughs, and that is just about the worst-case scenario. Van Gameren could even leave this on if he wanted to, but he cozies that up to the peg very nicely. Walsh missing on the peel there. Now this looks much more open. I do expect that he will make this one, and he does. Van Gameren with 2 shots left to Walsh's 1, just needs an open 20 to stitch it up, which he gets. So Nathan Walsh can put a bit of pressure on with this shot. He does to make Van Gameren shoot his last, but hit the rings for the 2 points. He does. Even with the open 20 miss, Van Gameren ties it up at 14, and a race to 19 has now been reduced to a race to 5 as the pressure starts to ratchet up. Players score their first open 20s each. Van Gameren finding some form as Walsh comes up short. Van Gameren now has been pretty solid with that shot all day, and Walsh will be gunning for another follow-through here. And he narrowly misses it. That was very, very close to perfection. Van Gameren, I like this line, but you have to be careful about where your shooter is going. Oh, that's the nightmare. He gives the 20 to Walsh, leaves his shooter on, which is the only benefit, the only boon from that shot, as Walsh just gets it to go off a peg. Van Gameren will now be digging to try to get his 20 advantage back. Good attempt there. I assume he was trying to come off the peg that he just brushed. Walsh might just go for a tap again. Pushes it through Hogan's, and will need to manufacture the difference on the board. Van Gameren pushes through. He's clearly still going for the win. I think there's a way that he could have played for the tie in this round, but that was... he made his intentions very plain. Walsh creates a sort of pocket there. The double is easy. Now a couple shots left for Walsh. What's he eyeing up here? Certainly a double takeout available here. 2 of them if he wants on the 2 close ones, and the disc closest to Walsh and the upper of those two. And that's what he sees and nails, and critically moves his shooter out into the open there. So if Van Gameren just sticks to this, Walsh will have a pretty easy angle into the 15 to create the 5-point winning difference. I think there's a world where Van Gameren just peels here and forces Walsh to hit the disc that's a little bit behind the peg. But no, he sticks to it. He says, you have a shot for the 2 points. Can you make it? Oh, or does he just see the double? That may have been a little tenuous, but it sticks in the 15. Walsh goes up 16-14. Some wild numbers going on in these long matches. Van Gameren just misses long with his first shot in this round at 16-14, but Walsh, playing one of his first real rollout shots of the match, sends it straight into the ditch. Van Gameren ties us up. Good shot by Walsh to maintain his composure. He leads 2 20s-1, but Van Gameren is level to the task and ties it. Van Gameren will look to keep his part of the deal in this 20s race. As we're tied at 3 with 4 shots to come for each player. Walsh seems to have found his line here. And Van Gameren has as well. 3 shots left for each. Any miss could be so pivotal. That one seemed to really carry on that board. Walsh scores for 5-4. Van Gameren is the first to blink. He comes up short. Walsh could try to push through a little bit, roll away, but he catches the peg, doesn't get the off. He's fortunate that the angle for that short ricochet is blocked by Van Gameren's own. Oh, that's a tricky spot. That took a pretty fortunate bounce to line up right in front of that peg. I'm not sure what Walsh really sees here. It's a very difficult position. Lining up the shot here. Perhaps trying to spin it off a peg and get it out of there. That is one of the best results I have ever seen on a shot like that. That is fantastic from Walsh. And especially because of the position of that blue disc, it is going to be next to impossible for Van Gameren to remove the red and score even 10 points, let alone the 15 that he would need to win. Does he take on the big shot and go through his own? That may honestly be the only shot that he has for the win. He's eyeing it up. And with the amount of time he's spending just looking at this, I can't imagine he likes it. Oh, I really don't see the squeeze in there from the outside. This is such a difficult proposition. Van Gameren even thinking about going all the way out to the left, but ultimately seeming to decide on going through his own. The thing that makes it even trickier is if that was actually a little bit further back, the shot would be easier. The peg would help you. But now I don't think the peg does the way this is lined up. Big shot for Van Gameren, and it rings off the peg. Walsh says he got really lucky. That was a good result for him, and he is 1 point away from advancing to the quarterfinal round. A pivotal 20s race here. Van Gameren cannot be the first to miss, as Walsh has hammer, needing again just a tie in either of the next 2 rounds. But Van Gameren comes up short. At least a touch 20 opportunity for Walsh. Great shot there. Played it with some pace. Got some good bounces off the pegs there, but made sure of his shooter. Now a chance could be here for Walsh to roll out toward the camera, but he's just lining this up through Hogan's alley. and places it right in front of the hole. This is a shot that Van Gameren has not hit on the match, and I don't think it's entirely his fault. That's a really good push there. But a touch 20 is available, a rollout is available. That's a good shot. Just that little bit of curl made that just that much more difficult. Van Gameren has to go through Hogan's Alley again and sticks it well. But again, more defensive opportunities. I think at that point he may even have needed to go for the touch 20 because now there's nothing available. Needs to blast this and hope for a bounce off a peg. Good push. But Walsh could even pull this back toward his side of the board. Which he does. That's beautifully placed. Van Gameren needs to just leave his shooter on the board and hope for an incredibly uncharacteristic miss. And as that rolls off the board, the result is sealed. Nathan Walsh scores the open 20 to stitch it up, but a great match. Nathan Walsh comes out victorious, 20 points to 14. Congratulations to both players, but we will see Nathan Walsh in the quarterfinal. All right, I'm done. Thanks, Simon. Again, this is fun.
I got so lucky with that one.
That was a tough shot.
Yeah,
I didn't see any way that he was going to win that.
yeah, that's because it was tucked up into here, so I couldn't